All right, from the gentle hush of a December evening to the sparkle warmth of Christmas melodies. Good evening and welcome to Newsline. I am Claire Adelabu Abdul Razak. Now, moments ago, the Christmas season opened up with the annual night of night lessons and carols by the NTA, FRCN, and Voice of Nigeria. Now, and if your heart is still humming from those carols, well, you're not alone tonight. We'll continue in that spirit on Newsline with stories that will make you see the world in a completely new light. So tonight, we'll step into a world where few dread, where every stroke and every hammer shapes the dreaded bed that levels up humanity. And of course, we have so much more. This is Newsline Airways, flight 900 hours, departing from the network service of the NTA here in Abuja. We're about to taxi through tonight's stories from the newsroom runway straight to the heart of our communities. So please fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the flight. We're cleared for takeoff. And the government of Benin Republic has foiled what authorities describe as a coup attempt aimed at overthrowing the democratically elected administration. Musa Baba Aliyu reports that a group of soldiers had earlier seized control of the national television station and announced the dissolution of the government.
On Sunday morning, the people of Benin woke up to a security situation in Cotonou, the capital city of the Republic of Benin. A faction of soldiers seized the national state television station and announced the overthrow of President Patrice Talon and the dissolution of the government in what appeared to be a bold coup attempt. The group, identifying itself as the Military Committee for a Foundation, also ordered the closure of Benin's borders, signaling a potential lockdown amid the uncertainty. A few hours later, the presidency announced that its security forces had overpowered the mutineering soldiers. The country's Minister of Interior, Alassane Seidu, confirmed that loyal elements of the Beninese military, adhering to their oath and republican principles, had regained full control of the situation. The government urged the citizens to remain calm and continue their normal day activities. No further details about the identity or motives of the mutineers, nor about possible arrests, have been disclosed at this stage. Reports indicate that the country's borders remain open and citizens are going about their normal businesses. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government of Nigeria has strongly condemned the attempted unconstitutional change of government in the Republic of Benin in the early hours of Sunday, December 7, 2025. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs stresses that this act represents a direct affront on democracy and the will of the Benin people, while affirming Nigeria's stance with Benin and commend the swift action of the Beninois authorities in defending their constitutional order, whose professionalism decisively repelled the coup attempt and guaranteed the president's safety. And back home, Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived in Abidjan, the capital of Côte d'Ivoire, representing President Bola Tinubu to attend the inauguration of the president-elect Alassane Ouattara. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports that the Vice President Shettima arrived at Félix Houphouët-Boigny International Airport in Abidjan and was received by the Côte d'Ivoire's Prime Minister Robert Mambe, the Chargé d'Affaires Embassy of Nigeria in Côte d'Ivoire, Item Akpama, and other senior government officials. President Ouattara was re-elected for a fourth term in office on October 25, 2025 as President of Côte d'Ivoire, a West African country that shares cordial diplomatic ties with Nigeria. Both nations collaborate significantly within ECOWAS and the African Union on security, trade, and development, formalized by a bi-national commission and numerous agreements covering areas like anti-trafficking, agriculture, and digital economy, with strong informal trade and significant Nigerian diaspora in Côte d'Ivoire, fostering deep bilateral economic and social connections. The Vice President is expected back in Abuja at the end of the inauguration. To other stories, in reference to media reports concerning a planned protest by a coalition of federal pensioners of Nigeria, citing alleged non-payment of pension increment arrears and palliative allowances, the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, (PTAD), says it recognizes the constitutional right to protest, but wishes to state that following approval of an emergency budgetary allocation by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the subsequent release of funds by Ministry of Finance, PTAD has successfully implemented the 32,000 naira, 10.66% and 12.95% increment for eligible defined benefit scheme (DBS) pensioners under its management. In a statement signed by the Executive Secretary PTAD, the implementation took effect with the September 2025 pension payroll and has continued to be paid to date. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Union of Pensioners has dissociated itself from the purported threat by some group of pensioners embarking on a protest to press for the release and payment of the pending 6 months arrears, arising from 32,000 naira pension increase. In a statement, the National President Godwin Abumise says dialogue is ongoing and is yielding the desired results as the federal government has commenced the payment of the arrears in contention. The union further urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to keep to his promise to the senior citizens by fast-tracking the release of funds to members to forestall any industrial action. Now, in a shining moment for young scholars, 10-year-old Divine Promise Chidi has emerged champion of the inaugural Love Bite National Mathematics Competition. Uchenna Nwokoye reports that the competition took place at the Love Bite factory premises in Inobi, Anambra State.
Participants in the maiden edition of Love Bite Annual National Mathematics Competition were drawn from the 16 states of the Federation where Love Bite family bread has heavy presence. 33 primary school pupils aged between 8 and 11 from selected schools across Southwest, Southeast, South-South and North Central competed. The star prize winner, Divine Promise Chidi, smiled home with 3 million naira, a brand new laptop, 1,780,000 naira for his school, and 750,000 naira for his teacher. The first runners-up, Onatobi Somtochukwu 11 from Chumat Academy, Anambra State, got 2 million naira, a brand new laptop, 500,000 naira for his teacher, and some cash reward for his school. While the second runners-up, 11-year-old Ugwocha Ronald Leo from Diamond Special School, Imo State, got 1 million naira, a brand new laptop, 300,000 naira for his teacher, and some cash reward for his school. There were a lot of consolation prizes for all the participants.
I really want to thank them for bringing this opportunity to us, for us to exercise our mind for mathematics competition.
I know that he will make it. It's never a surprise to me.
Chief Executive Officer of Love Bite Foods and Beverages, Innocent Nwosu, said the initiative is to encourage young people to embrace mathematics as one of the key subjects that drive science.
Everybody is running away from science-inclined stuff. Everybody wants to be maybe a dancer, a musician, and an entertainer, especially this period in time. So if we continue the trend, it then means that technological advancement will become a mirage.
The company, as part of its philosophy, has always given back to the society. But this one is targeted at the kids.
Love Bite family bread is one of the best breads in the Nigerian market. Uchenna Nwokoye, NTN News.
And the High Commissioner of Bangladesh to Nigeria, Maya Kabir, has called on the president of the Mariam Abacha Group of Universities to consider establishing similar institutions in Bangladesh. The envoy made the request when he visited Mariam Abacha American University in Kano to deliver a lecture titled Harnessing the Capacity of Youth in Economic and Social Advancement, jointly put together by the Bangladeshi High Commission and the university. Shehu Adamu reports.
Bangladesh High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mia Mainul Kabir, said establishing Mariam Abacha American University in Bangladesh will increase the university's global visibility in advancing knowledge and technical skills. The envoy commended Ma'un for its growing reputation in academic excellence. President of Mariam Abacha American University of Nigeria, Professor Muhammad Israel, said the visit by the Bangladesh envoy is a testament to the university's commitment to fostering global partnerships and promoting youth empowerment.
And Mariam Abacha American University of Nigeria, we have more than 5,000 students.
In his presentation, the High Commissioner highlighted the critical role of youth in shaping economic and social transformation.
That young minds, when encouraged and connected across the culture, can shape a more harmonious and dynamic world.
The visiting diplomat and his entourage were conducted around some important places in the university. Shehu Adamu, NT News.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, says Nigeria and Japan are nearing an agreement on deepening cooperation in cross-cutting technical support, human capacity development and expanded health sector investments in Nigeria. And the Coordinating Minister made this known following his meeting with Japan's Minister of Health, Labour and Welfare, as well as other development partners on the sidelines of the Global Leaders Coalition meeting in Tokyo, Japan.
All in all, a fantastic visit, and really thanks to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for picking health as one of those areas in his administration where he's pushing us to deliver more, to deliver better for Nigerians. And we're on the way, we're starting to show progress, and we will sustain it.
Now, this year's service of 9 lessons and carols by the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, the NTA and VON was not just an event. It presented a time of worship and praise. Elizabeth Omoroye reports that the guest preacher, Reverend William Okoye, in his message, which hinged on the theme, Jesus, Our Strength, reminded Christians on the need to uphold the faith, love and peace to surmount all challenges.
The Christmas spirit is certainly in the air, and this event is one of the activities that ushers in the season. 8 choral groups, including solo artists like Chinyere Ashade, cut through their dynamic and theatrical presentations to dazzle their guests. The service retold a Christmas story from the fall of humanity to the birth of Jesus Christ.
For a child has been born to us. He is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God.
Reverend William Okoye and the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, in their Christmas messages, encouraged Nigerians to look beyond present challenges, keep hope alive, and reflect on the birth of Christ, which offers mankind hope and reunion with God.
Help can only come if we respond to his invitation to come and repent of our sins, receive Jesus into our heart as our Lord and personal Savior.
May our communities with the peace of Christ, and may your hearts with the strength that only Jesus gives.
I want to tell Nigerians to have hope in God, that God is there for them.
It was truly a colorful night with voices depicting the mood of the season, and the candle lighting moment serving as icing on the cake. Executive Director Programs represented the Director General of the NCA. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
And reforming and strengthening the nation's justice system is essential to eradicating gender-based violence by ensuring that perpetrators are prosecuted no matter how highly placed they are. Now, this was the message of Catholic priest at Christ the King Catholic Church in Kubwa, Reverend Father Christopher Damina, during a special church service commemorating the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Ngozi Technical tells us more.
Seeing the parishioners and representatives of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, the Reverend Father appealed for strong political commitment in putting appropriate laws in place and applying such laws against perpetrators to serve as a deterrent. He advised parents to be more determined in child upbringing.
The justice system has to be strengthened so that if somebody violates a minor or a woman or a boy or a man, justice should be served.
The Minister of Women Affairs, represented by the Director of Women Development, emphasized the importance of collaborating with religious institutions in winning the fight against gender-based violence.
Coming to the church today, it portrays the ministry's stand as per partnership and collaboration.
In addition to praise and worship, special prayers were offered for the minister, Nigerian women, and the country at large. In Abuja, Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
And the Managing Director of the News Agency of Nigeria, Ali Mohammed Ali, has underscored the importance of the agency's regular fitness exercise, describing it as a key initiative to enhance the physical, mental, and social well-being of staff. He made the remarks during the third edition of the non-fitness program, where participants cover a 5-kilometer route. Oche Mbede reports.
Just like in previous edition, staff of the News Agency of Nigeria turned out in impressive numbers for the third edition of the non-walk and jog exercise, reaffirming the professionalism and unity that define the agency. Leading by example, the organization's leadership, led by the Managing Director, set the pace as they took the front line of the early morning walk. With support from personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps, participants covered approximately 5 kilometers.
A team that exercises together is a team that achieves together. And beyond that, you know, we in the agency will emphasize this wellness because we believe a workforce that is well and healthy would achieve rapidly, faster than you have a lethargic workforce.
From the non-headquarters here in Abuja, Oche Mbede, NTA News.
Right, let's amplify sports updates more with Bade Adeleye. Bade, good to see you.
Many thanks, Claire. Let's begin with the Nigeria Premier Football League, as there were plenty of excitement and goals on match day 16 of the league, as Chidozie Nwundu netted a brace to help Enugu Rangers wallop Bayelsa United 4-1 to climb fourth on the log. Reigning champions Remo Stars returned to win away with a 2-1 win over Imba, while Kwara United made it back-to-back wins with a 2-0 victory against Niger Tornadoes. Bottom side, Kano Pillars recorded a vital 2-1 victory against Kun Khalifat, while Abia Warriors and Rivers United shared the spoils in a 1-0 draw. Now to the English Premier League, as the battle for European football intensifies with two fixtures decided on Sunday as part of match day 15 games. And of course, at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace captain Mark Guehi scored a dramatic late header to secure a 2-1 victory over Fulham and lift the Eagles into the top 4. Elsewhere, Brighton secured a stoppage time equalizer through Georgino Rota to cancel out Jarrod Bowen's superb finish as West Ham missed the chance to escape relegation zone. Meanwhile, on Monday night, inconsistent Manchester United travelled to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the last fixture of match day 15. The hosts, who have the worst Premier League home record, will attempt to give themselves hope in the fight against relegation. To motorsports now. In Formula One, Lando Norris has won his first Formula One world title after securing the third place he needed to clinch the championship on Sunday. The 26-year-old took the title by 2 points from Max Verstappen, who won the race to take his 8th victory of the year, one more than his teammate Oscar Piastri. Norris becomes Britain's 11th Formula One world champion and is the first McLaren driver to win the title since Lewis Hamilton in 2008. That's the much you can take on sports. Let's now return to Claire, who is not so happy that Arsenal lost just yesterday.
Yes, I was trying to see if I could find something against your team, but never mind. I mean, you win some, you lose some. So
exactly.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's check the weather forecast for Monday.
I'm glad to have you with us on the weather forecast. We start off Monday with moderate dust haze across the fringes of the northern region, as represented by the shaded area on the map. Visibility is expected to be in the range of 2 to 5 kilometers. Other parts of the north and north-central will experience slight dust haze, while a cloudy morning is anticipated to the southern region with chances of thunderstorms during the morning hours in parts of Cross River and Akwa Ibom states. Going into the afternoon and evening hours of Monday, pockets of thunderstorms are expected across the stretch of the coastal belts, as well as parts of Ondo, Ogun, and Lagos states. With the fine dust particles in suspension, please stay hydrated and take necessary precaution. I am Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
All right, that was the weather woman from the Weather Center. Concluding the news segment on Newsline tonight. Please don't go away. We'll take some commercial break. When we come back, we journey into tonight's stories on Newsline. All right, thank you for joining us and welcome to Newsline tonight. So let's begin. Tested with glaucoma that eventually took his sight, Adebayo Murtala could have surrendered to darkness. But you know what? He chose a different path. Though blindness ended his ability to see colors, it never stopped his ability to create them. So tonight on Newsline, we'll be sharing the inspiring story of this exceptional Adire maker who continues to produce beautiful tie and dye fabrics despite losing his vision. Femi Afariokun spent a day with Adebayo to show how he defied his limitation and is motivating others with living with disability.
At the age of 51, Adebayo Muritala wakes each day with a resolve stronger than the darkness he has lived with for 13 years. A slow battle with glaucoma took his sight in the year 2012, a turning point that could have ended everything he knew.
My last checkup was at UCH Ibadan. So where was announced that I can't see again. So, and I felt so bad. So I thought I've lost everything. As a professional artist, they advised me, they talked to me that I can still meet up. So they now introduced School for the Blind to me. In Oshodi, Lagos State.
With his world now without colors, Adebayo's hands still create some of the brightest as he head firmly to the one skill he knew best, which is making Adire, the traditional Yoruba tie and dye fabric.
He doesn't want it to be moody or something like that, because maybe you may think he didn't see you, but when you know, okay, he knows.
He's always trying his very best. Very, very best to cater for us. And I'm not lacking. I'm in the University of Osun State University, and I'm in 400 level.
At his workshop, Adebayo becomes a different man, as every knot, twist, and dye pattern is guided by memory, experience, and passion.
For you to lose your sight, it's not that easy. But it's used that you will make sure that you make a step so that they will not look down upon you.
Not selfish with his talents, he trains many, including persons with disabilities, proving that skill depends not on sight, but on the will to learn.
I also think that as I'm visually impaired, I can do also. And when I get here, I see that I can do better.
He can describe the color, and last week I did my birthday. He was the one told me to do the colors.
But despite his efforts, Adebayo's biggest challenge remains low patronage.
All this design have been stolen because when they print this on polyester is not meant for Africa. But we plead to our government, they should try to stop all these things. They should protect the image of Africans.
Now a grandfather and father of graduates, Adebayo stands as a master craftsman without sight and a bright light to those society often overlook.
Absolutely inspiring there. Now, for some people, strength is measured, of course, in sight. Others, it is measured in muscle. But yet for some, it is measured in will. And that's the story of 49-year-old Abubakar Chika. His strength is the everyday choice to rise above the limits placed before him. In a modest repair shop, Abubakar earns his living with skillful hands and an unbroken spirit. Now, what draws people there isn't the size of Abubakar's shop or even the busy market flow. But you know what? It's the inspiration that lives behind the workbench. And that's the story we are bringing to you tonight on Newsline.
Abubakar was born with a physical challenge, yet he refused to let it define him. With determination, he pushed through school up to diploma level at Waziri Umaru Federal Polytechnic, Birnin Kebbi, and found purpose in drawing and visual arts.
Ko da ni tashi dai na tashi je na ga ina abina.
I was brought up with a passion for art and design right from a young age, and I grew up continuing on that path. I found myself where I am today without any formal support, only occasional words of encouragement from those who saw my work.
For over 30 years, he has honed his craft, now blending hand sketching with computer-aided design to produce striking digital works. From this talent, he runs a business that sustains his family of 2 wives and 3 children.
It was through this business that I was able to fend for myself. It supported my education, and I was able to marry both my first and second wives. So I encourage other people with special needs to look within themselves. There is always something they can do to become self-reliant.
Abubakar's story mirrors that of Kasimu Bello and Haliru Aliyu, 2 men with similar physical challenges who once begged on the street of Birnin Kebbi when a philanthropist supported 43 persons with disabilities. Only 4, including Kasimu and Haliru, choose to invest their share.
Initially, I don't like begging. I only did it when I had no other option. Then Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu supported 43 of us, and 4 of us decided to get a shop and start a business. Begging is now history. As you can see, I'm a cell phone technician. That's what I do.
Today, the duo run a modest shop. Though it may be small, it represents dignity, proof that empowerment, not pity, is what transforms lives.
I faced a lot of challenges when I was a beggar, from discrimination to assault, abuse, and stigma. But now I thank God for Atiku Bagudu's support. I now sell bread and engine oil, and my life is far better. I'm running my own business, no more begging. Thank God for his sustenance.
This further shows that supporting people with disabilities, not just handouts, but with opportunities that help them stand on their own, is the way out. Physically challenged should attract support more than sympathy. Most often, what truly limits people is not their condition, but the lack of opportunity.
All right, I really like to say a very big thank you to Usman Abdullahi Shehu for spending time with Haliru Bello and, of course, Abubakar. Indeed, it only shows that dignity and purpose can turn one's challenge into opportunities. Now, our next story is a shocking one. When you think you've seen it all, another very ugly incident raises its head. And such is the alleged ritual murder of 38-year-old personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Fumilola Lasisi, and her 12-year-old daughter, Shewa Lasisi, by her male friend in Oshobo, Osun State. Now, this is one that points to betrayal from someone they trusted. So the question is simple. How did an ordinary friendship end in tragedy? Kaade Oladosu will tell us more in this report.
It began like many missing person stories, with worry creeping in as hours stretched into days and days turned into weeks. Their disappearance dominated conversations across social media. 39-year-old Federal Road Safety Corps officer Fumilayo Lasisi and her 12-year-old daughter Shewa had left their home in Abeokuta and never returned. Then came a major breakthrough. Police investigators acting on leads traced the last person Fumilayo had been in contact with, Victor Fajemirokun, a man she had been in a relationship with, allegedly murdered both mother and daughter for ritual purposes.
And the agreement between me and Fumi was to go and meet him for head appealing and water ablution. So when this man consulted the herbalist, he said until Fumi come to his place before he can see any solution. So he do the consultation again. He said, Fumi, we do a burial, and they arrange for the kola nut and something that they will use for the burial before they now take her to the bush and me to follow them. Before this boy now kill her.
And that they have killed both the daughter and the mother. They've already killed them, dismembered their body, and dispossessed them in various locations within the bush and some inside a very deep river.
According to Osun State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Gotan, Victor quickly became a person of interest. But before the police could reach him for questioning, he vanished, fleeing Nigeria.
I left there and I ran away. And I went to, because I lied to them for those people that I'm in problem, that some people wanted to kill me. That contributed with me that I should run away before they kill me.
Through coordinated efforts and with assistance from Interpol, Victor was eventually traced to Ghana, arrested and brought back to Nigeria.
Meanwhile, efforts are on top gear to apprehend other members of the group. I assure you, with the arrest of these people, cases of ritual killing will be a thing of the past.
Reminds individuals and communities to stay vigilant and do away with harmful beliefs.
Now, the dawn of Monday, December 1, did not just bring the usual calm to residents of Sabwa and Gwa Kofa Sori in Katsina metropolis. It came with the horror of a fire outbreak in a home. But what started as a suspected electrical fault turned into a nightmare that claimed the lives of 5 members of a single family in a matter of minutes. To tell us this story, let me bring in Anwal Haliru.
For the family of Mohammed Habib Aliu, a 35-year-old casual staff of the Katsina State Water Board, life was simple but filled with hope. Married for 5 years, Habib and his 25-year-old wife Fatima were raising their 3 young children, 3-year-old Yusra and 1-year-old twin boys, in a modest home where relatives say love and togetherness defined their daily life. But that quiet life was shattered when a late-night fire broke out. Eyewitnesses recount how the late-night fire spread rapidly, trapping all 5 inside. By the time firefighters arrived, the house was fully engulfed and nothing could be done to save them.
Mun same su gaskiya sun riga sun kone. Wuta ta riga ta abin nan. So muna nan kuma sai ga fire service su ma sun zo su ma aka dan ida kashe wutai.
Around 3 a.m. I had a phone call from my brother that there is an outcast of this ice by fire inside Mahmoud's house. Being that I'm far away, I have to rush and come around full. By the time I reach the place already ablaze. The fire service arrived. Unfortunately, the way to enter the house became very difficult because of the nature of our roads. But thank God that people tried. We broke the door and we found them dead.
Fire started from the fallow, which they cover them while they are all inside the inner room. So we cannot be able to force the first door out, talk less of the second door.
At the funeral prayer held according to Islamic rites, family members described Habib as the sole breadwinner and a devoted father. The tragedy has renewed concerns over electrical safety. Authorities have announced a full investigation and urged residents to inspect their wirings to prevent similar incidents.
If you are going to sleep, switch off all your electric gadgets. All your electric appliances, switch it off to avoid fault.
As neighbors continue to gather at the family compound, the loss of 5 lives stands as a painful reminder of the human cost of infrastructure failures and the need for safer homes.
So sad indeed. Now, when you hear the words coffin maker, what comes to your mind? Well, for many, it's just a trade wrapped in mystery, a craft people would rather not think about. Yet, behind every coffin is a human being with a story, a family, a livelihood shaped by a job society often misunderstands. Tonight, Gabrielle Amunike steps into their world to bring us a rare, humbling look at the life of a coffin maker, the story of men who turn planks into final beds we all will someday need.
Amid the hum of machines and the scent of fresh wood, these craftsmen spend their days building the final beds of people they may never meet. Their job may seem grim, but to them, it is a quiet service, one driven by purpose, not fear. They understand that their work carries someone to their final rest. Many imagine their nights filled with shadows and whispers, but the workers say the only thing that haunts them is the fatigue of a long day. For a middle-aged coffin maker, the craft began as a struggle for survival. Today, he speaks of it with respect. He laughs at the myths tied to his trade, stories of wandering spirits and strange encounters, insisting they belong to superstition, not his workshop.
I don't see spirit. I don't know what is spirit. I never see spirit before.
10 years or past 10 years, no see spirit.
24-year-old Kalik, already making his mark. He talks proudly about his craft, which gives him a steady income. His dream is to modernize coffin making with designs that reflect what families want as they say goodbye.
I've been doing it for 8 years. I'm benefiting something inside. That's why I'm still on the work.
At a nearby mortuary, morticians share the same view. 65-year-old Chikezie Nwanko is an attendant with over a decade of experience, smiles as he describes the fulfillment he finds in preparing loved ones for a dignified final look.
I carry go wash them. After finish, clean them. After clean them, I paint them with a pancake, glue stick, and eye pencil. Everything is normal. They carry the cloth, carry the glove, enter the gasket. Somebody come,
See as my father, my mother, they fine. They close them their cuffs, carry they go.
It's a line of work rarely in the news, but quietly essential. These craftsmen and caretakers remind us that even at life's final chapter, dignity matters, and behind the coffins and courtrooms are ordinary people, guided not by spirit, but by compassion, skill, and deep sense of humanity.
A coffin maker, he does control what many of us would avoid, our shared humanity. A good point to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And now our attention will be shifting to tradition and recognition. So, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, was still basking in the euphoria of her conferment as the Ugosimba I of Enugu State. When closer home, honor and recognition again beckoned on her. Now, this time, it was from Ile-Ife, the source where she was installed as the Yeye Asiwaju Gbogbo Ile Yoruba by the Oni of Ife, His Majesty Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II. So, as expected, the conferment ceremony was steeped in rich Yoruba tradition and was witnessed by the cream of the Nigerian society. And our State House correspondent, Adeniyi Taiwo, captured the ceremony, which he says is one of the highlights of the 10th coronation anniversary of the Oni of Ile-Ife.
A bright and sunny day with elements perfectly aligned for history. The ancient town of Ile-Ife stood still as dignitaries from different parts of the country poured into the palace of the Oni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi, awaiting the arrival of Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu for her conferment as the first ever Yeye Asiwaju Oodua. With fanfare, she rode into the courtyard of the palace where Oba Ogunwusi performed the installation rites and presented her with paraphernalia of office.
Yes. She's a pillar for me. Ultimately, she's a pillar for our daddy, the father of our nation.
Tribal and religious lines disappeared, while the unity in Nigeria's diversity became evident at the ceremony where the cream of the Nigerian society, led by former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Dame Patience Jonathan, and the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, took turn to applaud the choice of the First Lady for the honor.
You have begun where you should begin. I want to say to you, the way you are carrying on, continue to carry on.
And Kabiyesi, I want to say thank you.
Thanking the Oni for finding her worthy, the new Yeye Asiwaju Oodua says the worst is over for Nigeria and now is the time to roll up our sleeves anew to work with the current government in order to deliver a brighter future for the country.
Kabiyesi will thank me, and I thank him as well. For me, he was a young king, but a very wise one too. It will say I've been I've been there through the time he has ascended the throne, but in my very dire moment, he will be the first to call me. And Kabiyesi, I want to say thank you.
Two books offering historical details about the Oni's tour and the giant strides of Oba Ogunwusi in the last 10 years were unveiled at the ceremony. Congratulations
to the First Lady. Now, in other stories, Academic excellence, they say, is priority. But you know what? Character formation is core. Social modeling will be intentional, but talent discovery is always a signature. So once again, those values were on this full display in true pace-setters style, class, and color, and of course, undeniable steez. And that was at its 2025 end-of-year event, which burst into a spectacular celebration. Momso Damien Tati was there to capture the moments for Newsline.
From a practice, it became a tradition, and now it's a culture. The Pace-Setter Schools Abuja annual end-of-year giveaways and party. The journey begins thus. And off to Abuja Children's Home, Cairo, the train moves with loads of love and gifts for the children. Little hands waving as eyes sparkle with joy.
This outing is not because we have so much, it's not because we have everything, but we believe that whatever we have, we can share.
And the only way we can help them is by coming together as a people to empower and help them in our little way.
We are not taking this show of love and kindness for granted. May God bless and reward you. For always remembering us every year, even as things go high, you still come. God bless you all.
Even the IDP camps felt the warmth of the season. No one is left out. With a smooth transition, the events shift gears to a burst of colors, a splash of life as the end-of-year celebration unfolds.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim."
The blend of white, green, red, the signature colors of the season, paints the air with the Yuletide magic.
This is a beautiful sight to behold.
And for pace-setters, it's tradition and strive for excellence. Beauty pageantry,
A round of applause for contestant number 4.
electrifying dances, life-touching lessons, eye-opening technological exhibitions, art paintings, and so much more.
Action!
Let's appreciate. From the secondary schools to the primary sections, everyone gets a share of the magic. No child left behind. A festival of learning and fun. Children, parents, and teachers all having fun. For pace-setters, it goes far beyond the classroom. This is more than books and social events.
Pace-setters is a family where we share love.
That's one of the most amazing schools in the world. The teachers are very good.
If in doubt, then ask the parents.
The way the kids are being active, that was what prompted me to bring my kids.
You are having that confidence that your child will not have problem in university. He can cope with any course.
I'm quite proud of the kids. I am sure that they're getting the best education at pace-setters.
It's about building a generation of leaders with character and integrity.
The skills of the children is actually the skill of the country. All that we need is to trigger, to inspire, to ignite,
and to discover the talents and the potential of whom or what we are.
Okay, congratulations there, pacesetters. Let's turn away now. At 80, Dr. Malara Oila Ajayi is proving that age is no barrier to making history. And as she unveils her new book, Against the Odds, Winning as a Woman in a Man's World, sharing her journey as a trailblazing educationist and public servant whose career spans over 5 decades, Adeola Kamiakere reports that the book launch was a celebration of a lifetime of service and dedication.
The glory of God and for the benefit of humanity, I launched the book, Against Odds.
The thick-back 547-page book with 12 chapters chronicles not just personal triumphs, but the painstaking, often invisible work of transformation, the hours spent earning trust, battles fought in the corridors of power, bridges built across systems that were designed for women.
The more we document their leadership stories, the challenges, but also the triumphs, the better we can fully understand the context in which women lead.
Mama brings the heart of a mother, the precision of an educator, the insight of a theologian, and the courage of a reformer into her pen.
For the octogenarian author, the book is for every woman who has led without being noticed, and for every man willing to share power, every institution ready to be reimagined.
I feel so happy and grateful to God that He had made it possible for me at this age to be able to turn out a book of this magnitude. I expect Nigerians to now ensure that they put women in their rightful places.
As a staunch Methodist, the church's support did not go unnoticed.
Because of the value of that book, I have recommended it for all our seminaries in Nigeria.
It was for a purpose, and I'm happy that she fulfilled that purpose by writing this book.
She broke the barrier, not just for herself, but for all of us. So what I've learned from her, and I think the younger ones, and even those who are older than me, can learn is that start to journal your whatever book you want to author.
Another highlight of the occasion was the cutting of the 80th birthday cake by the celebrants. The award-winning octogenarian was described as a woman of legacy, a passionate builder of systems and souls. She was principal of Queen's College, Lagos. Omolara Yula Ajayi is blessed with a doting husband, children and grandchildren.
Now, beyond fostering happiness and togetherness during festivities, mobile telephone network provider MTN, through its Yellow Weddings surprise visit, is sharing in the joy of Nigerian couples as the communications giant embarks on its journey of love and partnership this festive season. Diana Charlie captured one of the company's surprise visits in Lagos, where the team presents 2 million naira check to Paul and Lovett AJ, a newly wed couple. Let's watch it.
Focusing on long-term community impact, this initiative reflects MTN's deep commitment to celebrating significant life moments with Nigerians while supporting families during their most cherished celebrations. Instead of a straightforward wedding ceremony, management of Africa's giant in mobile telecommunications, MTN, is adding more spice to marriage ceremonies this festive period by popping up at selected weddings, turning the day into unforgettable yellow moments for newlyweds.
Nigerians are very resilient, and so we decided that in the spirit of giving, a spirit of unity and joy, we want to surprise as many Nigerians as possible, along with the Yellow Wedding and other things that we're doing for Nigerians, just to give back to the country and to our people at this time. We wish them happiness, wish them joy, I particularly pray that they'll be best friends for each other for the rest of their lives.
Chief of Strategy Officer, MTN Nigeria, Babalola Oyeleye, says the wedding push is about connecting people to more happiness and giving newlyweds a life-changing startup.
We take it as something that is of significance because they are beginning a new journey together. And for us, connecting and connection is what they're doing. They're forming a new connection, starting a new family. So it resonates very strongly with us.
Couples and their relatives expressed appreciation at the unexpected gesture from MTN.
I'm really appreciative. Thank you so much. They're really doing well. I pray that your business will not run dry.
And I'm not taking MTN for granted. I do appreciate.
I'm so grateful to MTN for what I saw today.
MTN's Yellow Tide Wedding Surprise is a clever feel-good marketing play that blends a surprise on-site experience with the digital perks of the Yellow Tide campaign, reinforcing MTN's image as a brand that truly cares for its customers in all ramifications.
Cheers to the bride and groom.
Now, that's what I call a network that really connects. It's not surprise in ribbons, but in yellow. MTN, we did here. All right. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in parts of the southeast and south-south, all thanks to a massive street lighting initiative by a brand many Nigerians grew up with. You know what? Amstel Malta is illuminating major cities with one of the country's largest synchronized festive light displays. Kanayo Okoro brings us the glitz and glamour that evoke the spirit of togetherness by promoting wellness in a very memorable experience as Aba shines brighter than ever.
Christmas starts the moment the lights come on. This year, the glow is stretching far beyond living rooms. Amstel Malta, a familiar name on Nigerian tables since 1994, is brightening the season with a sweeping Christmas street lighting project. 6 cities, 7 landmark locations, more than 13 kilometers of illuminated roads, all glowing at the same time, turning ordinary streets into a dazzling path of color and celebration. Under its Be Your Best all-season long campaign, the campaign is transforming selected spaces into cheerful gathering points where families stroll, friends catch up, and children marvel at decorations.
Nigerian breweries, the purpose of our company is to brew the joy of true togetherness. And nothing sparks joy like the beautiful lights of Christmas. For Amstel as a brand, Amstel is a brand that is rooted, and its purpose is rooted in being your best. Amstel wants consumers all over the country to be their best. This is why we're doing what we're doing here today.
Abia State government commends Nigerian Breweries PLC for Amstel Malta's quality and pledging the state's support while lightening the Christmas tree.
I want to say a very big thanks for Nigerian Breweries and the Amstel Malt for this wonderful occasion. It's just an example, meaning that Amstel Malta come first, Nigerian Breweries first, then others will follow.
For the government and the brand, the project is both symbolic and practical, boosting local activities, supporting small businesses around the display areas, and giving families a safe spaces to enjoy the season.
We see it as a commitment to our people, particularly the people of the East, people of Aba, people of all the Eastern communities, that Amstel Malta brings joy to this season. And that's why we said they should be their best all season long. And that's why we are lighting up the streets. That light brings joy to the homes and to the hearts of the communities and to the people.
For Amstel Malta, Festival Village is a way of saying thank you, bringing light and beauty and shared experiences to the people who have supported the brand for decades. And as the lights continue to shine across the region, many here say it already feels like Christmas.
All right, from Aba, let's move on. For 3 days, Gumel opened its doors to well-wishers, and that's as the Emirate celebrated His Royal Highness Ahmad Mohammed Sani II for 45 years of steady leadership. Now, from elders who witnessed his early days on the throne to young people who've known no other ruler, the mood was one of gratitude and celebration. Anwar Mohammed brings us highlights of that event.
Emir of Gumal Ahmad Mohammed Sani is a familiar voice of guidance known by people of the Emirate for 45 years. Many say his calm leadership has kept the Emirate anchored in peace and unity since 1979. Those views came to light as Gumel marked his 45th year on the throne. Vice President Kashim Shatima, Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi, and traditional rulers from Nigeria and Niger Republic joined residents in celebrating a man they describe as a bridge between generations.
I'm quite glad to be back home. Gumel is home. This emirate has a rich history.
The event opened with commissioning of a new central Jumaat mosque. The event moved to the township stadium where dancers, horsemen and press singers brought Gumel's heritage to life, especially for the younger generation, seeing these traditions up close for the first time. Tributes poured in from traditional rulers who described the emir as a humble statesman committed to the welfare of his people.
45 years in a lifetime is no short time, and 45 years of service to people is a great blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We pray to Allah to give him many more years in good health and peaceful reign and successful reign and prosperity for the people of Gumel.
His Highness the Emir of Gumel was turbaned 45 years ago. I was only 15 years old when he was turbaned, so you can see how God has spared his life, to witness this occasion. Alhamdulillah, and we're very happy to be here.
Today on his 45th anniversary, and I wish him long life and prosperity, and I hope Allah will keep him to celebrate his silver jubilee.
Nous avons répondu à l'appel.
We witnessed a great ceremony, making this a truly historical event.
Speaking for him, the Galadiman Gumel Usman Muhammad Maji thanked dignitaries and residents for their loyalty and prayers. The celebration ended with traditional homage procession by district heads and title holders renewing their allegiance in a ceremony that for many symbolizes gratitude to a leader who has been part of their daily lives for nearly half a century.
Very colorful there. Now, Harpic, Nigeria's leading toilet cleaning brand from Ricket, has reaffirmed its commitment to improving sanitation and hygiene across Nigeria. Now, the brand is partnering with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation and the Lagos State Government to commemorate the 2025 World Toilet Day, themed, "We Will Always Need the Toilet." Ingino John Adams tells us more.
Make sure you keep your toilet clean.
Use the toilet. Stop open defecation is the message here. Harpic is championing the campaign to help actualize the national target of ending open defecation by 2030. Data from the United Nations shows that 3.6 billion people globally still live without access to safely managed sanitation. Harpic is determined to change the narrative as it engaged in a 2-day sensitization campaign in Lagos and a stakeholders symposium focused on sustainable sanitation and community-led solutions. Earlier, Harpic held a maiden national sanitation conference marking the 6th anniversary of the Clean Nigeria Use the Toilet campaign in Abuja. Vice President Kashim Shettima emphasized that sanitation is about human dignity, health, productivity, and the future of the nation's children. Head of External Communications and Partnerships, Rekit Sub-Saharan Africa, said access to hygienic sanitation is a necessity for preventing diseases as well as a fundamental human right, and as such, HAPIC is committed to championing the purpose until everyone can have access to safe and decent sanitation. The event was concluded with an award ceremony recognizing individuals and organizations driving progress in sanitation and hygiene across Nigeria. For its consistency in innovation and investment in the sanitation sector, Rekit Nigeria clinched a private sector award by the Clean Nigeria campaign.
All right, you're watching Newsline. It's time for us to take another break. Please don't go away. When we come back, we have more interesting reports for you. Now, the rich cultural heritage of the Southeast, reflected in Igbo language and tradition, is increasingly being threatened by the growing influence of Western culture. Now, to safeguard this heritage, the Nigerian Television Authority NTA Enugu Network Center launched an annual cultural event. It's called Igbo Efuna, featuring cultural competitions for primary and secondary school students in Enugu. Ifeanyi Daniel Okpai says the maiden edition was an impressive cultural event that celebrated the beauty and identity of the Igbo people. Let's watch it.
Igbo literally means let the Igbo identity never be lost. It is a cultural awakening championed by the NTA Enugu Network Center, speaking directly to a generation growing up in a rapidly changing world. At a time when many young people are drifting away from their mother tongue, this initiative is reigniting pride in language, heritage, and identity. The event had pupils and students from across Enugu, all eager to showcase the beauty of Igbo culture through debates, traditional dances, poetry, folk tales, tongue twisters, and idioms. Every performance delivered proudly in Igbo. For the Zonal Director of NTA Enugu, Mr. Patrick Iro, and other stakeholders, the message was clear. The media must remain a strong custodian of culture, using its platform to remind communities of who they are and where they come from.
The whole Southeast Zone is going to key into this so that we have like state-by-state competition, which will now culminate in the final.
It's really an impressive one, and we are hoping to do this, and even span it all the stations under the NTA Enugu Network Center.
It's not so easy. Gathering all these kids, lecturing them, nurturing them on the qualities of trying to save our language.
Awards went to outstanding schools, but in truth, everyone who participated walked away with something deeper, a renewed sense of belonging.
When I came here today, I discovered that really language will not die.
As the maiden edition came to a close, one message echoed through the crowd: preserving the Igbo language, culture, and indeed African heritage is a shared responsibility.
Behind every news story are people who make it happen, given their time, talent, and passion. So NTA Kaduna Network Center celebrated those staff, loyal viewers, and community leaders for their impact. And our correspondent and award recipient, Muhammad Umar Ajingi, captured the laughter, heartfelt moment that made the night a celebration of dedication and loyalty.
As the year slowly falls into its final chapter, NTA Kaduna Network Center opens its doors to an evening that brings the people behind the cameras into the spotlight. For once, it is the editors, the script writers, camera operators, and everyday hands that keep the station alive.
I want us to dominate the space. Dominating the space means you must have motivated staff, and you must have clients that see value in what you do.
The hall, full of committed staff, loyal clients, and familiar faces from across Kaduna, among them former Senator Shehu Sani, House of Representatives member Aminu Sani Jaji, and Professor Idris Muhammad Bugaji.
No person in this country that would have said he has not benefited from NTA, either in form of information, entertainment, education, and so many other things.
I'm only serving today as a doctor to others so that they will copy from what the NTA is doing and what we are doing as a parliamentarian and what they are doing as a politician to become closer to people by the day.
Representatives of Governor Obasani, whose administration many say is restoring peace to Kaduna, step forward to receive the honor of the Governor of the Year 2025.
On behalf of His Excellency, I feel very elated, I feel very encouraged. This is a testament by the good people of Kaduna State and of course the entire country, because NTA represents an entire nation.
The Director General of the NTA, Salu Abdulhamid Dambos, was also represented at the gathering.
The Director General of NTA has always been someone who believes in quality. So we recognize our clients and we recognize our staff.
Then young cultural dancers take the floor in a quiet corner. Retired staff smiling, watching the station they once nurtured still making impact, still carrying the NTA story from one generation to the next.
All right, here's my two kebab piece for the week. Trim the Iroko tree while it is young. When it matures, it becomes difficult to bend it. Good night, everyone.